When Summerslam 2008 went off the air, despite the show being a banger, the WWE was in a weird spot. Cena had gotten injured against Batista, Edge got sent to hell, praise the Lord, Randy Orton had been injured for months, and when your SummerSlam title matches are CM Punk taking on JBL and Triple H against the Great Khali for some reason, despite the roster being stacked, something just fell off. Now, Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels were in the middle of an all-time classic feud, but somehow the stakes still just didn't feel high enough. Sorry, Rebecca. So then the question becomes, how the hell do you get things popping again for the next pay-per-view? Well, why don't we just invent a brand new match? Why don't we just take an Iron Man match, give it Royal Rumble entrances, add the chaos of a gauntlet match, and then have like 20 title changes throughout the match, and not only debut this match at our next pay-per-view, but let's do it 3 times in the same night. Unforgiven 2008 is the definition of we need to shake things up, pal. In a span of 3 hours, the landscape of the company was gonna change, the economy was collapsing, my parents were about to lose the house, but hey, at least we were getting 3 championship scramble matches for the price of 1. Once Pyro lit up Cleveland, the first match of the night was the ECW Championship Scramble, because what better way to put over your brand new match type as something special than having the 2008 ECW bums do it first. Now, a Championship Scramble match is a pretty easy concept. As you can see in the opening match, Matt Hardy and The Miz started it, they wrestle, and then every 5 minutes another participant came out, and every time someone got a pin or a submission, they became the temporary champion, and whoever is the champion when the clock hits 0 is crowned the official champion. Simple enough, right? No, apparently not. Yo, people hated this match back in 2008, they despised this shit, but I never understood the complaints. Oh, the first 15 minutes don't matter. Do they matter in any world title match? Pinfall and submissions happen too easily. It's just too confusing. How, bro? How? Whoever is champion at the end wins. What could you possibly be confused about? I genuinely don't get it. The ECW Scramble to open the night was really solid. Everybody wanted Matt Hardy to win, and Mark Henry was there to ruin the party, and it was great to see Matt trying to defend his pin at the end by any means necessary, playing defense. Solid match with Matt Hardy winning the ECW title, but I think the biggest mistake they made, which led to people hating this match type at the time, was having 3 of these. There was no reason in having 3 of these matches in one night. The novelty dies real quick. They should have saved this for the main world titles. Like why is Chavo Guerrero in your new cool industry shaking match type? Ew, it's Chavo. Dan, dan, dan. Ew, Chavo. But the first scramble was out of the way, and it was then time for Cody and Ted DiBiase to take on Crime Time. Going into this pay-per-view, these two were some of the most useless idiots on the roster. But this was going to be the night where they finally stepped up, and it all began with them retaining their tag titles. But after that, it was then time for, honestly, the real main event of the evening. The match that sold more buys for this show than any board game wrestling match could ever, HBK versus Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho in 2008 had developed into a savage, and Shawn Michaels and his family were his victims. Gone were the pants, gone was a smile. Chris Jericho was in the cut, and it was a scary sight. This man was tired of the hypocrisy of Shawn Michaels. He was tired of the fakeness, so after months of build-up, he took it into his own hands. This man not only hospitalized Shawn Michaels multiple times, he even hospitalized his wife. Yo, in the summer of 08, if Jericho got his hands on Michaels, it was gonna look like a crime scene every time. But his character was so much more than that. He would come out every week and call us the fans hypocrites, parasites, and I remember little me was just there entranced by heel Jericho. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, call me a parasite. Little me loved heel Chris Jericho. Him and Randy Orton were the first heels I ever fell in love with, but shit, even I knew at Unforgiven, Shawn Michaels and his lazy eye were gonna catch a body. HBK had lost his smile like it was 1997 all over again. He had to get revenge for himself, for his family. He had to get his dignity back. It was Jericho, it was Michaels, unsanctioned match, and boys, this was magic. Both of these men were in the ring, and Shawn Michaels went crazy. He wrestled, if you want to call it that, unlike any other match in his career. He was moving around like he was Stone Cold Steve Austin. 90 seconds into the match, he's already trying to give Jericho CTE. Jericho is throwing tables. He's trying to do anything and everything, but Jericho should have known it was GG once HBK pulled up in the street clothes. Shawn had the match won in the first 7 minutes or so, but he wasn't here to win a match. There was no mercy. Wait, that was the next month, actually, sorry. Walls of Jericho, nah, eat this. Oh, you trying to run? Here's a suplex on the stage. You want to have your little lackey pull up to save you? You want to bash HBK with the chair over and over? All good. This is Shawn Michaels, dog. Eat this sweet shit music. Eat this chair shot into the table. Guys, HBK went crazy. Just look at him. Look at the state of this guy. He looked like a homeless guy under a bridge, but he didn't care. He was here to destroy Chris Jericho. This man put Jericho and Lance Cade on top of each other, on top of the announce table, and he just flew in the air, bang, double kill, plus 50 XP. He made Jericho pay for his sins, and the crowd loved every single second of it. And when it was all said and done, referee had no choice but to end the match. We hadn't seen a wrestler get cooked like this in years. And was HBK done after the match was technically over? Was John Wick done after he found the guy who killed his dog? Nah. Shawn Wick was in the cut. Bang. Referee gets cooked. Jericho gets cooked. He is left unconscious. And Shawn Michaels, after all these months, finally got his revenge. What a match and what a moment. What work by Shawn Michaels. He genuinely looked deranged in this match, and after everything Jericho put him through, the good guy finally won at the end. Fans were happy, the commentary was happy, HBK finished the story, and finally, Rebecca could sleep at night. In my opinion, a classic all things considered, and some of HBK's most unique work of his career. 5 months of a slow build all led to this, and it was worth it. Jericho was out, he was done, he was yellow taped, he needed medical attention, and HBK's mission was finally complete. We got to backstage, and it was then time for something very important to be put into motion. You see Cody, you see Ted DiBiase backstage, you see Manu, and Randy walks in and they ask Orton if he was impressed by their win earlier tonight. He says that he wasn't impressed at all. So at this point, it was like, okay, the YGs still haven't stepped up enough. And you gotta remember, at this point, Legacy wasn't a thing yet. They were still trying to get Randy Orton's attention. But don't worry, they knew exactly what they had to do. It was then time for the WWE Championship Scramble match. And listen, nobody in 2008 was more excited for this match than me, because 10-year-old me would have bet my entire life savings of $20 that this was a night where Jeffrey Hardy was walking out champion. Everybody hated the Scramble match. Yeah, I don't care. I don't think those idiots understood how happy millions of children were around the world seeing Jeff Hardy get the 1-2-3 against the Brian Kendrick and seeing this graphic on the screen. Just look at that. That's all I needed. Stop the count, end the match. We've seen enough. But as amazing as that was, I swear to God, I almost had an aneurysm like 2 minutes after that. Words cannot describe how it felt seeing the Brian Kendrick, this disgusting, nasty, sleazy looking ass weirdo, hit the sliced bread on Jeff and technically became WWE champion. What had my company become? This guy was champion. There were guys more jacked in my grade 5 gym class, by the way, than this champion. Yo, he just looks so slimy. But jokes aside, that's what made these matches have so much potential back in the day. When else would you have ever seen anything like this? They did their thing. I think it was a solid match. But once Triple H came out with 5 minutes left, yeah, they went crazy. It felt like watching a back and forth NBA playoff game. It was game 7, title on the line, Jeff Hardy versus Triple H. Somebody was walking out champion. Triple H walks in, and literally in 30 seconds he becomes the champion, because of course. But then Jeff becomes champion. Fast forward another minute, Triple Fraud pedigrees Kendrick, and now he's back champion. They were trading threes, clock was winding down, Kyrie for 3, bang. But sadly, Draymond Green always found a way. But it was time for a miracle, okay? With less than 2 minutes left, all Jeffrey has to do is survive 2 minutes. Just defend for 2 minutes. If your useless ass brother can do it, I'm sure you can, Jeff. Jeff hits a swanton on Shelton, but of course, Triple H pedigree in the middle of the ring. Clock is winding down, and in the biggest choke job since the Patriots went 18-0 just to lose in the Super Bowl, Jeff, instead of stopping the pin, goes for his own pin. Clock hits 0, buzzer goes off, and Triple H retains. And all I can say is, hello darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. I never watched this show live, but I remember somebody had uploaded this show on YouTube literally hours after it ended in like the worst quality ever. And I'll never forget, it was like part 14. And I remember making out the pixels and being like, please Jeff, win. And he didn't, and it broke my heart. Now, did Jeff botch the ending? I'm pretty sure he did, but regardless, this match showed the magic that Scramble matches can have. The drama, the excitement, going back and forth, it feels like a sports game, especially when you have a fan favorite chasing a title. How do you not get invested? Great match, heartbreaking ending, but as you know, if there's one positive that comes from this, that Jeff Hardy momentum was coming in hot, and it all started here. But you know whose momentum was about to get cooked? Hello, Mr. Punk. CM Punk at this very moment was about to experience one of the most disrespectful world title reign endings we have ever seen. Y'all know how in the movie Friday there's a line, how do you get fired on your day off? Yo, how you lose your world title before your match even starts? CM Punk had been champion for almost 2 months. They gave him a sad-ass JBL match, and now, just like that, it was wraps. He was face-to-face with Randy backstage, who wasn't even cleared to wrestle yet, by the way, and boom, Ted, Cody, and Manu pull up. They destroy Punk backstage, who, remember, world champion, by the way. Randy hits the punt, and it is over. You don't see CM Punk for the rest of the night. The world champion, the reigning, defending world champion, made his one and only appearance backstage, got punted, and it was time to hit the showers, kid. Literally, the most disrespectful world title reign endings you will ever see. I told you, they wanted to shake things up at Unforgiven, and boy, were they about to. But first, it was time for the quarterly Big Show heel turn.
Well, it's a big show.
I guess, bro, you got it. Undertaker wanted Vicky's soul or something. Big Show turns heel for the 25th time of his career. What do you want from me? Anyway, with that state-sponsored Big Show propaganda out the way, it was then time for the main event. The main event in which it was announced that Punk was not cleared for. Batista, JBL, Kane, or Rey Mysterio, one of these men was walking out world champion. Now, you would assume, looking at this lineup, that Batista was gonna win this match, right? You would assume, and that's exactly what 10-year-old Pav wanted. But there was one problem. CM Punk's spot was empty. And unfortunately for Batista, the company had a certain man lying half dead backstage with absolutely nothing better to do. Back from the dead, break the walls down, out comes the parasite. He used to call us parasites. I've never seen a man look more like a parasite in my life. Jericho looks like he just crawled out of a hospital dumpster and somehow was now entering a world title match. And HBK was nowhere to be found. Chris Jericho was the last entrant in the Scramble match. And what better way to get things poppin', what better way to flip the company upside down than for the parasite to pull up. Batista cleans house, there's 25 seconds left, he's busy beating up Rey and Jericho, who looks like he survived a nuclear blast with 7 seconds left. 1, 2, 3, rats out the biggest finesse of his career. Chris Jericho, after almost dying, after basically dying, after HBK went Mortal Kombat on him, after getting hit with a fatality, comes back and ends Unforgiven 2008 as World Heavyweight Champion. Yo, just look at him, look at his face. The crowd is shocked, Batista is shocked, HBK was backstage punching the air, and that's how Unforgiven 2008 ends. One of the biggest rat finesses of all time. 3 championship scramble matches, Big Show turns heel for the 25th time, legacy is basically formed, CM Punk loses a title without even wrestling, Brian Kendrick gets to be champion for like 2 minutes, Jeff Hardy's stock skyrockets, HBK gets his revenge in the best way possible, but despite that, Jericho gets the last laugh. In 3 hours, in just 3 hours, it was almost a brand new company, and ladies and gentlemen, that's Unforgiven 2008. What an interesting show, and I love shows like this. Unforgiven 08, Elimination Chamber 2010, where it's like, yo, we gotta heat things up, this isn't working, let's just go crazy, we have 3 hours on pay-per-view, let's just change everything. No Cena, no Edge, Randy Orton's not even cleared yet, no problem, we'll figure it out. What a time it was to be alive. I love the championship scramble matches. I wish they brought him back. I used to play this in the SVR game so much. I know NXT has something similar these days, but I don't know, it doesn't hit the same. To me, if anything, that's even more complicated. Please bring back the scramble matches. It's your boy Pav, aka Wrestling Gifts. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. In the comments down below, let me know what memories do you have of this show, what do you think about this show, and anything else. I'll see you guys soon with the next one. Till then, take it easy, stay safe. It's your boy Pav, and I'll see you guys later.